Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will discuss how to apply for OCI card. OCI is also known as Overseas Citizen of India. In this video, we are going to discuss following things. The first is checklist. Second is how much you need to pay to get OCI card. Third, we will discuss how to fill up online application and how to submit it online. 4. I will discuss with you guys all documents required while preparing your application. And lastly, we will also discuss what is processing time to get OCI card. So, I will go over all these points one by one. Before we start this video, if you have not subscribed our YouTube channel, please do consider to subscribe and do not forget to follow us on Instagram. I have provided both links in description and comment box, so please click on them to join us. Open your Google browser and search here BLS International. Click on very first link. It will bring you on this page. So, you can see that there are different jurisdictions in Canada, so you need to select your jurisdiction as per your location. If you live these areas as written here, then you fall under Toronto jurisdiction. If you live in these areas, for example Montreal, then you select Ottawa jurisdiction. But if you live in Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, Yukon Territory, Northwest Territories, then select Vancouver jurisdiction. Let's say you live in Ontario and your postal code does not start with letter K, then you fall under Toronto jurisdiction and click on Proceed. Here, you can read all information provided. All walk-in centers are open, which means you can submit your application by walk-in. You may submit your applications at Brampton, Toronto, Scarborough, and Winnipeg centers as per your location. If you want to take pickup drop-off service, then I have made a detailed video on this. I will leave a link in description. If you want to book an appointment, please click this link. Then you can provide your details here. Select center as per your location, what type of service you need. I will select OCI. Then select appointment date, then provide other details as per your passport, and finally submit it. That's how you can book appointment. Let's go back and close this message. Click on OCI. Again, click on OCI. Here you can read all provided information. Let's click on application fees. Here you can see that if you are applying from Canada for a fresh OCI, then you have to pay 345 Canadian dollars. This amount will go to either High Commission of India in Ottawa or Consulate General of India in Toronto or Consulate General of India in Vancouver, based on your location or jurisdiction. Separately, you need to pay processing fee of $7.40 to BLS International for their services. Scroll down. Here you can see mode of payment. If you want to submit your application in person, then you will need get a demand draft of 345 Canadian dollars in favor of the Consulate General of India, Toronto, if you live in Toronto jurisdiction. So when you are getting a demand draft, then you will have to pay bank charges as well, which you can request your bank to waive off. If you have bank account with them, there are good chances that they will waive it off. Otherwise, you end up spending $10 per demand draft. And secondly, BLS International Services charges are $7.40, which you can pay directly at BLS Center using your debit card or cash. Remember, credit card payment is not accepted. Here you can see second mode of payment is for postal application. If you do not have time and you want to send postal application for your OCI card, then you are required to have 2 demand draft from your bank. One demand draft of $345, as we discussed earlier, and second demand draft in favor of BLS International Services, Canada Inc., which will include BLS service charges plus return courier fees to send back your processed application. For more information about cost of pick and drop off, you can click here and find more information. I have made a detailed video for pick and drop. Please find link in description. Let's move. Here you can see, if you are a couple and both of you want to get OCI card, then you can make one common demand draft together, which help you to save bank processing fee. Let's move and click document requirements. Here you can find checklist, sample form for your reference, which is provided as a sample. Let's click on checklist. Checklist for submission of OCI application. Under this checklist, you will come to know what documents we need to provide for OCI application. Here you can read, we need to provide all these documents. First document you need to provide with your application is printed and filled copy of this checklist. And type here, yes, in this column. Second is your online application form, which I will show you how to fill in detail in coming part of this video. Then third is your surrender or renunciation certificate. Remember that you need to send the only copy of it. If you want to self-attest, you can self-attest all documents and enter yes to this verification column, which means that you have verified. Then next comes the Indian passport again. You are only required to submit copy of passport. Then fifth is foreign citizenship certificate. Again, it will be a photocopy as original is not required to submit, and do not forget to enter yes to this verification column. Then you have your Canadian or foreign passport. Again, you will send copy of your foreign passport. Then seventh, professional detail of the applicant. So you need to write letter and provide your professional details and enter yes for verification. Eighth is proof of address. There are multiple proofs you can provide. So for that, scroll down for page number 4. You can provide any one of the following document as proof of present address. First is driving license. Second is photo ID issued by the Ontario government. And third is your recent utility bills, for example, electricity bill or water bill or gas bill or phone or internet bill, etc. Remember that for OCI application of minor children, proof of address of both of the parent to be submitted. Next, let's discuss photograph requirements. You need to upload an online photo of yourself with OCI application. Your photo needs to be 2 inch by 2 inch or 51 by 51 millimeter, and background should be plain white, colored without borders. I will show you live example how to prepare photo for OCI without paying any professional photographer. Let's scroll up. Then you have other options here. For example, if you want to reissue your OCI, then you need to provide below information. If you want to submit application for minor children born in foreign country, then refer to this section. Once you provide all information, then move to details to be filled by the applicant section and enter your name here. Enter your file number. This number you will get once you will submit your online application, which we are going to discuss next. Then BLS Center, where you will be submitting your application, and provide date you are submitting this application. Finally, applicant needs to sign on printed copy of this checklist. Let's go back to BLS website. Click here on Forms and click on Online Application Form. I will leave this link in description as well to have direct access. If you want, can read all this and click on Proceed. So here you need to click on New OCI Registration. And if you look here, there are other options as well. For example, you can check status of your current application, etc. Before we click on Proceed further here, it's important to check prerequisites. So you can click here, the applicant's photo and applicant's signature photo have to be of certain dimensions. For example, the applicant's photo has to be minimum of 200 pixels by 200 pixels. Maximum dimension should be 3500 by 3500 pixels. Applicant's signature photo should have minimum dimensions of 200 pixels by 67 pixels or maximum dimensions of 3500 pixels by 2500 pixels. I will show you how you can be sure when you are uploading both applicant's photo and signatures. Let's move forward and click on Proceed. Please read all these instructions before you begin your application. Tick here, I have read the instructions, and then let's click Accept. Here you can read again. Start registration from Part A, then upload image and signature, and finally complete Part B. Documents supporting your application have to be uploaded in PDF format at the end of Part B. After completing application, hard copy has to be submitted to the selected missions office. Enter here above CAPTCHA. And enter, you will come to this page. There are two sections. Here you see the first tab is to fill new application, and second is complete partially filled applications. When you are filling the application at some point, if you want to exit without completing your application, then you will get a temporary number and enter that number here. You'll be able to resume from where you left application last time, so you don't have to go through the entire process. Now, one more thing I want to mention, that in case you make an error while filling out this online application form and you submitted it as well, you do not need to panic, as you can submit another application from scratch. Just make sure that you have printed new application. Let's click on Fill a new application. You will find this page. OCI registration form. Select the place of submission. Here I have selected Canada. You have a drop-down menu. You have to select the country where you live at present or country where you are applying from. Then mission. From drop-down menu, select location as per your jurisdiction. For Canada, you have three options, so select option as per your location. For purpose of this video, I am going to select Toronto. Applicant's information, please enter your surname and given name as per Canadian passport. If given name is XX on your passport, then mention exactly same on the form as well. Have you ever changed your name? If yes, click the box and give details. Let's move forward. Then you need to provide all these details as per your Canadian passport, your sex, date of birth, country of birth, state of birth, place of birth, current nationality, which will be Canada, your national identification, which is again either your citizenship certificate or citizenship card. Make sure you do not make any mistake. Then you need to provide your visible mark on your body. Whatever the visible mark is, you have entered in beginning of application. Enter same here. It is important to note that when you type anything here, this is not case sensitive, so anything you type will automatically get converted into capital letters. Then you enter your marital status. Select suitable option from drop-down menu. If you are unmarried, your spouse details section will not open below. If you are married, your spouse details will be asked, and then based on your other selections, you will have to answer some more details. Passport details. Enter all details here as per your Canadian or foreign passport. Make sure you don't make any mistake. Provide passport number, date of issue, date of expiry, and place of issue. Lastly, previous passport number. In case you have just recently acquired citizenship, you won't have this section. Next section is applicant's family details. Enter here father's name, father's nationality. You enter here as per your situation and father's profession. You need to select from drop-down menu and select most relevant to profession. Similarly, enter here mother's name and nationality, and also provide mother's profession for the purpose of this video. I am going to select here housewife from drop-down menu. Next, spouse details. Are you applying OCI on the basis of Indian spouse? This is for those who are foreign nationals but got married to Indian. So in that case, your response will be yes and provide answers to some additional questions. I will make a separate video on foreigners getting married to Indian citizen and how to acquire OCI. So consider subscribing this channel. So, for the purpose of this video, I have selected No here. You need to provide details for your spouse as per her present passport. Provide your spouse name, spouse nationality, spouse profession, which you need to select from drop-down menu. Enter date of birth of spouse. Provide marriage registration date. Spouse passport number, passport issue, and expiry date. Also provide passport's place of issue. Lastly, you need to select relation with root Indian. This is where some of us can get confused. From the drop-down, you need to select one option. Since you have recently given away your Indian passport, the response here will be self. If it is not the case, then you have other choices and you need to select option as per your situation. But if you have recently given up your Indian passport and you have a surrender certificate, then the response will be self. So, I hope till here it is clear to you. Let's move to next page. Let's move to occupation details. First is occupation, and applicant needs to select occupation from this drop-down. Select most relevant to your field. Then, you need to enter address of your employer and provide employer's contact information. Based on what you have entered, when you are submitting this application, you will be required to upload employment letter, which we will discuss more in document upload section. Let's move to applicant's address information section. In this section, you need to provide applicant's present address in Canada. I want to mention that you will have to give a proof of this address, which I will show in upload section how to upload your present address proof. So, you need to provide zip code or area code. Along with that, provide your mobile number and telephone number, but in case you do not have telephone number, then enter your mobile phone number twice. Then lastly, applicant needs to provide email address, and remember on this email, you will receive reference number for your application, and you will be able to track rest of things through this reference ID. Let's click on Next. Here you can see all information which we have provided, and you can verify all details before we submit it. In case you want to make any modification, click on Modify and update your information. Click on Submit. As I said earlier, even after submitting, you realize that you have made a mistake, then do not panic and start a new application and submit again. Let's move. So once you are ready with the photo and signature, just go and say, "Yes, I am ready" with the image. Here, we need to upload photo and signature. I want to mention, if you have a good phone camera, then you can take this photo at your home and prepare as per official guidelines. Let's click on Choose File. If you hover your mouse over photo, you will see that this photo is of 54:17 by 7580 pixels, but as per official requirement. The size of photo has to be 2 inch by 2 inch, which is a perfect square. So to modify this photo, let's right click on this photo and open with photos. Here click on Edit, then again click on Free and select Square, as our picture has to be square, and adjust your picture. And click on Save Options and Save as Copy. Even after making it square picture, you can see that pixels are higher than official requirement. So let's again open this photo with Paint this time. And click on Resize and Skew option under Image and enter a number which is in official range, so I will enter here 1200 by 1200 pixels. Similarly, we need to do same thing to make sure applicant's signature photo also have minimum pixels as per official website. Now both the signature and photo are of right size, so click on Choose File. And so once photo opens here, click on Crop, then drag this down so you can see that photo has been done. The same thing I will do with the signature. Select signature and crop, and then pull it. Make sure no edge of your signature is missing. If you find any problem with signature, take a picture, again upload and make sure it is all correct. So once that is done, click on Upload and you see the photo and the signature both have come here. Once this is done, you see that your reference number has been generated, and you also need to enter this reference number on checklist as we discussed before. You still have an option to make a correction. I want to upload again. If not, you can just say I have uploaded successfully. Now this is a long list of documents which is required here for your OCI application. So out of this list, you need to provide documents as per checklist so you can review checklist once again. If you are applying for the first time after you surrender your Indian passport, you need to provide your current passport, which will be your Canadian passport. Next, you will require an employment letter where you need to provide details about your company and your work details. You can reach out to your company and ask them to give you very basic letter with your name, company's address, and what you are doing on day-to-day basis. Now, for the Indian origin proof, you have your Indian passport which is cancelled. That should be enough. Next is India visa, which is not required. Next is this joint declaration of subsisting of marriage, which is not required as well in your case, because this is for someone who is a foreigner getting married to person of Indian origin. Then marriage certificate. Again, this is not required because your Indian passport will have the spouse detail already. But if you want, you can upload, and remaining documents you can provide if these are relevant to you. Next, now for the Indian origin documents, you need to provide previous Indian passport of self, where you are declaring that based on self, you are applying for OCI card. So these are basic documents you are required to provide. Again, as per your situation, you can look into which additional documents you are required to provide. Now let's click on Proceed to Part B. So in Part B, make sure that you read every single line carefully and then choose your response. If you answer yes to any question asked here, then you may be required to answer some additional questions based on your response. There are certain sections where if you answer yes, then you may not be eligible for OCI card. But for most of applicants, answers to these questions will be no. Next is present nationality. You need to copy the date and acquisition method from your Citizenship Certificate of Canada and enter them here. If you are in Canada, then acquisition method will be naturalization, but always double check as per your situation. Then the previous nationality, here the response is India, and then provide passport details of your cancelled Indian passport. Now, do you have relatives staying in India? You need to answer this question as per your situation. Let's say, if you have a relative in India, then answer will be yes. Then you need to provide name, present address, relationship to you, and lastly, you need to provide age of this relative. You can add multiple members who are living in India. Next is, have any of the applicant faced criminal proceeding? You need to provide answers for this question. I have selected here, no. Let's click on Submit button. So you have successfully completed Part A and Part B. Now we need to upload required documents one by one. So click on Upload Documents. Choose from the drop-down type of document you want to upload, then upload relevant document here. For example, from drop-down, select your current passport, which is your Canadian passport, and upload your digital copy of your Canadian passport here. Similarly, you need to upload other documents, for example, employment letter, Indian origin proof, which is your cancelled Indian passport, marriage certificate, etc. If you have additional document to provide, then upload that as well. Once you are done uploading all document, then you need to generate registration form. So simply click here and form has been generated. It is a 7-page document and you need to print it as well. You do not have to send all 7 pages. The first 4 is where you have all your details. On page number 4, you need to sign a declaration. So enter your name here and then enter date and place. Then applicant needs to sign here. Now we are all done with our OCI application. In the end of video, let's go over list of documents required for OCI application. Last step is to send this application along with all required documents to BLS. There are 2 ways to submit your application to BLS International in Canada. First, you can go with walk-in application and submit it. Second, you can submit your application using postal services. For that, please watch my detailed video, how to submit postal application to BLS. Once you submit your application, it will take about 4 to 6 weeks to process your application and get the OCI card. I hope you guys find my videos useful. If you have any question, please leave in comment box. I will try my best to reply. Remember to subscribe for regular updates on immigration, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well. I wish you the best of luck for your application and hope you have a great day.